Hi, this is Leslie from Stretch for Flow, and I have a little tutorial for you on how to drill my stall to the right. I do this little stall where I toss it up and catch it in the palm of my hand and balance, and I figured I'd teach you how to drill it. So I do my stall anyway to the right. I haven't tried it yet on the left. I guess I should always do everything right and left, but we're gonna practice this on the right. So I take my right hand and I am spinning my hoop in my L-shaped hand to the right. I grab and pull the hoop behind me and give it a little toss back up. You can also just do it from here if you like. You don't have to do the spin in front. I just think it helps give me some momentum, and I don't know, I like doing it that way when I drill. So just take your hoop. This might be a little easier for you to practice at first. Just take your hoop, give it a couple little swings, give it a toss. You don't want to go too far at first. Makes it a little easier to practice catching it. And just keep tossing it up and putting your palm out. Toss. I can't do them really high in my living room either because I have very low ceilings. So toss, hand out. Now if you'll notice, my palm, I'm not sure if you can actually see my palm, but my palm is not completely flat. I am kind of gripping. I'm not actually gripping, but my hoop kind of sits in between my fingers. So it kind of sits right here, in between these two fingers, in here, in this groove, and comes across here. So when I'm catching it, it's got an actual spot to sit. Can you see that? Kind of dark. But that's how I get it to balance. There actually is a little bit of grip. It's not an open palm, so it makes it a little easier to stay like that. All right, so I'm gonna practice little toss, little tosses. Just practice those. Keep that arm nice and still. If your arm is flailing about, your hoop's not going to balance, okay? But if you keep that arm nice and still and tucked in, I keep my elbow tucked into my back. So I keep my elbow tucked into my back. But if you keep that arm nice and still and tucked in, it makes it a lot easier to balance your hoop. And when you use that little technique that I started with, keeping it in between those fingers, it helps to balance it. Now, eventually, over time, you can move around with it. And over time, you can actually start catching it and then balancing it on your finger. See, I don't always get it either, and I've been doing it for a little while. All right, so it's a rough one. Balancing is not easy. But I drill it, and I drill this move every day. A couple times a day. I don't sit there and drill it for a half hour, but I do play with it every day a little bit. I'm always tossing the hoop up and catching it in my hand. I don't know, it's a fun little move, it's a fun stall, it's nice to be able to balance. And there's so much other stuff that you can eventually do once you learn how to do that. So again, for right now, when I catch it, I kind of make a groove. I put my middle finger down a little bit and my two other fingers are up, so it actually gives it a spot to sit. Now, once you get a little better at doing it, you can stop doing that and you'll learn the balance for your hand. And like I said, you can even do it on the tip of your finger. So out, back, little toss. You want to start off with little tosses too. Don't start off with great big huge throws because it's harder to catch it and balance it, okay? So just a little toss, little toss, little toss. Put that hand right underneath it. Toss. So see my hand? Toss. It comes right open. Okay? Toss. Open. Next, well, I'm trying anyway. It's working on my nose. And right now, I have ceilings. So it looks like I can do it, but I can't. Alrighty, that's it. See ya. Bye.